guys, it's Margaret from Days Well Spent, and today I'm going to show you how to set up a new pressure canner, go over the parts of it, and briefly talk about some of the care tips that are going to help you extend the life of your pressure canner and cooker. I'm going to be showing you on the 23-quart pressure canner by Presto. The instructions are going to be the same for all of the Presto pressure canner and cooker line, and then it's also going to be the same for most of the other brands that also use the dial gauge and have an inner seal. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get it unboxed. I've got my canner unpacked. Somewhere in your packaging should be your instructions or owner's manual. It's usually going to include some recipes, but it has a lot of information that's going to help you with the canning process and ensuring that you use your canner properly, which is going to extend the life of your canner. New to using a pressure canner, I suggest at least the first few times that you use it that you have the instruction guide nearby. That way, if you have any questions, you have a quick reference on what you need to do. You should have a sealing ring, a pressure gauge, and a pressure regulator. Now we're looking at the back side of the cover, and this is where we're going to put the pressure gauge. And these are our vents. Go ahead and flip it over. This is the vent pipe. The vent pipe is what you put the pressure regulator on once steam is continuously coming out of this little vent. Back here, this little black plug, hopefully that's never going to come out on you. This is the overpressure plug, and that pops when too much pressure builds up in the pressure cooker. And then here is your air vent cover and lock. The air vent cover lock automatically vents or exhausts air from the canner. It's a visual indicator that pressure is building up in the canner for you. When you first start canning, it's just going to kind of bob up and down, and then at some point, as soon as enough pressure's built up for it to start rising, it's going to come all the way up and stay up. Sometimes if you've got too much water in there, or you're doing a recipe that has a high volume of water, you might notice some moisture come out here, and that's normal. And then obviously these are our handles. Let's go ahead and take a look at the pot. Okay, so like I said, this is the 23-quart pot. Little areas here, this is what the lid is going to lock in place on and hold the lid down as that pressure builds up. On one of your handles, you should have an alignment arrow. This is what you're going to line up the lid with in order to get it on and lock it in place. And it's also going to come with a canning and cooling rack. Your canning rack goes down in the bottom. Most lids need to be assembled. You're going to have your pressure gauge. You're going to have a nut. And then you're going to have a metal washer. And then you're going to have a white compression gasket. And then this metal base. We're going to put the white compression gasket on. We're going to put it down through this hole. Now I'm going to put that washer on. Now the nut. You can just hand tighten it at first. You want to get a wrench on it and tighten it down all the way. Wash everything with warm soapy water before you use it the first time. That's going to include the gasket. The gasket fits right inside. And it should fit securely inside the lid of your pressure canner. Over time, you will have to replace your gasket. I like to turn mine to the front because this is where I'm going to line up on the side. So I want the pressure gauger facing me when I'm looking at it. Let's go ahead and look at putting the lid onto the canner. Okay, so like I said, we got this little arrow here. You want to line that up with the arrow on the lid. You set it down. You'll hear it fall into place. You'll also visually be able to see it fall into place. And then you just turn. There we go. At this point, your lid is on and locked into place. If you have any questions about setting up your pressure canner for the first time or any of the parts of a pressure canner, let me know down in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them.